Well, very good. So let's start perhaps a little different angle tonight. We know we've had a lot of discussion over the last several weeks about the tax conformity and tax bill. We've had obviously some discussion about the bonding bill, and I think we're going to come back to both of those topics before the evening is out. But I would be interested to hear from each member of the panel one or two issues that you're watching this session that you think might be of particular interest to our viewers and that you're following. And let's start with you, Senator Marty. You're our veteran member here.
Issues, there will be plenty of them. The difficulty we're having this year is I think we didn't have that many bills heard this year, but I think a lot of issues are still up on the table. Today we had a bill on moving something away from the Public Utilities Commission review of pipeline that had only been introduced about the time of the deadlines. And so I was surprised it was being considered after deadline. But issues, there's certainly going to be a lot of them that I don't know which ones we're actually going to be voting on. I'm not sure that some of the issues like the gun bills are going to be taken up. I wouldn't be surprised. The only ones I think are most likely are, again, the bonding and taxes that you mentioned. I'm sure there are going to be some surprise ones coming up, but I'm not sure what they're going to be.
Representative Johnson, your thoughts?
Well, I think the issue I keep hearing about at home, and it's become what I consider to be a crisis, is the child care crisis. And we've gone from, I believe, over 11,000 child care providers down to around 8,000 in a short period of time. And increasingly, parents just aren't finding a place to send their kids. And when they do, there's challenges with the cost and that sort of thing. And we know that providers are facing some challenges with the finances and also with some rules that are making it cumbersome to stay in business. And there's been a lot of good activity in my community on that. Blue Earth County has been looking at different ways to support financing for some new child care in the area. And I'm excited by a bill that's authored by Representative Sandsty from Hibbing, and she's taken an approach that really fits our area. She's from up north. I bet it fits up there as well. And I think it would fit in a lot of communities in Minnesota. And the concept is for the state to support community collaborative efforts to kind of solve on a community basis. And so a collaboration could be amongst everything from daycare providers themselves to businesses to maybe healthcare providers and people who are interested in making sure that's provided in that community. They could get a community solution, but the need for financing could be supported by the state. I like that approach, and I hope we can move on that this session.
Representative Baker?
A lot of issues out there. Excuse me. I think the one that we're starting to hear about is the school safety bill. I know that the Republicans have come out lately in the House to say we've got to do more for our local schools to make sure that they feel safe and secure. And we don't want to see what certainly has happened elsewhere, and we've had a taste of that here in Rocori just a few years ago. But we need to make sure that we're beefing up our security for our schools. Something personal to me is, of course, opioids. We think that 400 people a year is far too many in Minnesota. And in fact, we're one of the better states, if you can believe it, in the country to lose people from an opioid overdose.
So just so that our viewers didn't miss that, we have 400 people dying a year from opioid.
That was what last year, just from an opioid overdose last year. And we probably had 4 times that many overdose, but was not a fatal overdose because of the medicines that were getting to them quickly. It's killing our families and our communities faster than we've ever imagined. Certainly more than guns and automobile accidents. So to me, that's an important issue. And I'm really pushing our caucus for some new conversations about new ideas of revenue with this thing. But also just we have to come up with the best way to make really a difference when it comes to choking this thing out. Because I think that we're very close to turning the numbers around. But to see, again, my son passed away with this 7 years ago. My community has lost people about every 3-4 months. We lose another one, and I'm just saying this does not have to be happening this way. A lot of good things happening with medical procedures. Providers are getting on board. It's getting better, but we've got to stop the killing and the overdoses. So that to me is a very personal one, and I'm going to work very hard on that this year.
Senator Weber?
Thank you. Well, I believe I will repeat something that Clark said, and that is about the daycare issue. I think we used to talk about trying to develop workforce, and for our local economies, we had a lot of issues revolving around well, jobs themselves, but also housing and that type of thing. And housing is still in short supply in many of communities in rural Minnesota. But really, daycare has really moved up the ladder in many respects as to being a real barrier to job creation and to young families coming into our communities. It's gotten to a point where, quite frankly, you almost have to reserve your daycare spot before conception occurs, and ruin spontaneity. That's for sure.
Amen to that. Huh?
But the reality of it is that this is a real problem for our working families, and yes, there are certainly some monetary issues. I know in my local community they've considered options of remodeling a building, building a building. At the end of the day, there is actually no model that works from a financial standpoint as a standalone business in that sense of the word. And also from our in-home daycare providers, we've went. Well, Rock County is a county of roughly 9,000 people, and they figure we're short 111 spaces. And we have went from 50-some providers 2.5, 3 years ago to 30-some providers today. And a lot of that, yes, there's dollars and cents issues that are out there, but quite frankly, the rules and regulations are indeed problematic. We all understand the safety of our children is of paramount importance, but at the end of the day, right now, some of the enforcement issues and that type of thing, and what they're being written up for is so minor that it's driving people out of the business, and it's creating a real hardship in our communities.
All right.